Well, it's a deep, deep secret that Nike have never told anybody, but I've managed to get an inside piece of information. Nobody else knows this, and the reason is what's up guys, James here from BootWizard Boot Reviews, and today we're going to be doing an awesome unboxing and review of the brand new Phantom GT Scorpion. Before we jump into that, just a tiny bit of housekeeping, especially for my regular viewers. Yes, I haven't really been uploading quite as much recently. That's because I live in Ireland, and Ireland is currently in a state of lockdown. So we're only allowed to travel 5 kilometers from where we live. I am fortunate enough to still actually be going to work, but it does mean that making videos, getting content out is very, very hard right now. I will try and get out as much as I possibly can to you over the remaining month of lockdown, but do bear with me if it's not quite as regular as it usually is. But with that out of the way, do remember to like the video, get subscribed to BootWizard Boot Reviews for all of that amazing content that is coming, I promise you, and we'll get on and have a look at what I think is one of the best looking releases this year, and for sure the best looking GT so far. That's right, I've said it, let's do it. For those of you that don't know, these boots are based on a Nike advert. So this is taking nostalgia to a whole new level. So nostalgia is a huge thing at the moment. Adidas are tapping into it, releasing those old school Predator uppers on a brand new sole plate. Everyone's gone crazy for them. Nike have gone a slightly different route by giving you the brand new boot, the modern technology, which is a little bit more Nike style, but they've been putting on it inspired graphics or inspired designs from previous generation boots. So we got the Future DNA pack with that Hyper Venom 1, Phantom Venom 2. This is going to get confusing. We got the Vapor 13 with the old Superfly 1 red and silver graphics. So it's all about giving you that nostalgia while giving you what Nike believe to be the best boot possible. And we've taken it to a new level here because what we have is a boot based on a commercial. So if you don't know, like maybe you're just a bit too young to remember, the Secret Tournament was a commercial that came out in 2002. It had all of the top Nike athletes of the day in it. It had your Ronaldinhos, your Roberto Carlos, your Figos. They were all playing in a 3-a-side tournament. First goal wins. The whole thing took place on a shipping container. Eric Cantona refereed. The games were in cages. It was nuts, to be honest. It was a bit insane, but it's absolutely one of my favorite adverts, and I love the fact that that is the inspiration for this particular boot. So on the box, these are just listed as a Phantom GT SE, so special edition, but pretty much throughout Nike and what everyone's referring to them as is the Scorpion. So the Scorpion boot here, I'll show you the string bag, which is awesome. It has the same chrome patterning that you'll find on the boot, and then this big Scorpion logo with Secret Tournament and the Engineered for Skills, which is far more representative of the GT. It's a fantastic string bag, and the Scorpion was the logo for the Secret Tournament. If you would like to know why the Scorpion was a logo for the Secret Tournament, well, it's a deep, deep secret that Nike have never told anybody, but I've managed to get an inside piece of information. Nobody else knows this, and the reason is in technology terms, this is exactly the same Phantom GT as you're going to get from any other colorway. It's not particularly different. It's not any more special. It just looks awesome. So it's this chrome base, and you can see there is a pattern in it, which reminds me somewhat of what we got from the Neighborhood pack from Nike, where there was a subtle piece of patterning or imagery inside the boot, and you get that here, and it just makes those shinier chrome areas against the mat pop off a little bit more, but you do have to kind of go looking for it. A small Nike swoosh on the back with the Flyknit and ACC branding, because as I say, it is the same as all the others. You get this warning tape logo style Phantom GT here, and on the front, again, that's a reference to the goals that were in the secret tournament advert. And then you get this giant scorpion on the lateral side of the boot, which is probably the only thing I don't really like about it. Nothing against the scorpion logo. I just feel like Nike could have scaled it down quite considerably. I don't even mind the positioning, but it is a bit in your face. But I suppose, you know, it's the secret tournament logo and it needs to be on there for the boot. And then you get this paint stripe effect, again a reference to those pitches and goals that were in the secret tournament. And the Phantom GT logo has just been shuffled just a little bit further along to make room for the scorpion. If you were unsure that Nike wanted to make a huge deal out of the scorpion logo for this, well, it's also on the insole, and it's also on the sole plate, which again, as I say, is exactly the same as any other Phantom GT, with that single strengthening bar running down the outside. And then this is kind of a faux split sole. It does have the inner board, but then you get strengthening, so it's not completely split. This is a sole plate I really, really like, and I'm a big fan of, actually. I think it's probably one of the best things about the boot. But Scorpion logo in the front there for fun design purposes. If you do want to cop yourself a pair of the Phantom GT Scorpion, then do just hit the link in the top comment or in my description. That'll take you through to a link that's fully trusted by me, and you can pick yourself a pair of these up. And if you want to see my full review of these boots and also a review on the sizing of these boots, which is a big deal, then you can also click the link up in the corner, probably there, and that will drop you through to either of those two videos. Because what I actually want to talk about today, aside from the fact that these look phenomenal, who doesn't love a chrome football boot, is the role that nostalgia is currently playing in football boot releases. In life in general in 2020, we are bombarded by nostalgia from every angle. It's used in politics, it's used in marketing, it's used in everything. All the fashion that we get at the moment is geared towards a previous generation. It's all nostalgia if you're of a certain age, and it sells. Companies have absolutely tapped into this. Nike and Adidas more so than anybody else, because of course they have the richest history out of any of the big brands right now. The question is, who's doing it better, and has it already gone too far? Do we prefer getting these remakes from Adidas with the one-to-one uppers and then the changed sole plates? Nike did it last year with the T90, and that was a fantastic drop. I really, really enjoyed that. But are we kind of being oversaturated now by these Predator releases? Which personally, I feel like we are. We got so many Predator remake drops, just one after the other. Every single one just loses a little bit of how special it is. Which is why I much prefer Nike's approach to remakes, even if I maybe would like to see more from them. We've only really got that one T90, and I would like to see a couple of others, maybe for big milestones. But there's absolutely no need to rush them out because they need to feel special. The Hypervenom Phantom 1 is a prime example of a boot that has huge cult-like status now. Everybody's going for it. The resale market, the prices are absolutely through the roof, and Nike could absolutely benefit from releasing a remake model. But with the way that if you just throw out a remake every time that we as the boot buying public shout for one, then I do feel like you lessen the impact and it feels less special. From a collector's point of view, I'm not necessarily a collector, more of an enthusiast, a reviewer, but from the point of view of collectors, they become less special, they become less valuable, and all that companies are trying to do is commercialize our nostalgia, which, yeah, of course, we knew they were doing that before, but the more they commercialize it, the less special it gets and the less that they're going to be in demand. So that's taking it from a remake point of view. If we take it from the point of view of colorways, I have two different perspectives on this. One is that this is a fantastic looking football boot. Most of the remake colorways from Nike have been fantastic, and I like the fact that Nike are giving us a fantastic new modern boot with some old school vibes and a touch of nostalgia. That Future DNA pack, as I mentioned earlier, being a fantastic example. The problem here is that we're being charged a premium for it. Once again, companies and businesses cashing in on our nostalgia. The special edition nature of that Future DNA pack, it wasn't that special and it wasn't that limited. It was a great colorway and it harked back to nostalgia, but do we want to pay €20 more for it? Probably not. And I feel the same here. This is a more expensive than your standard Phantom GT. It's definitely the best looking GT, but you're paying a premium for this giant scorpion logo and a reference to a secret tournament football. If I didn't cover that earlier, the silver on this is as a result of the ball that was used in that secret tournament TV advert, which was chrome silver. We are going to have that on the channel as well. They released it as a strike ball, which if there's any left, you can also cop from that link. And I'm super excited to get it, but that's why we've gone silver with this boot. And I love the boot. I think it's great. I just think that being charged a premium to cash in on our nostalgia might be a little bit of a step too far. So we're coming towards the end of the year now. We're at the end of 2020, coming into 2021. What do we expect from nostalgia going forwards in football boots? Well, I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon, and this is a prime example of all the different elements that companies can tap into. I prefer that Nike haven't been putting out the one-to-one remakes because, for example, a lot of those early Vapor models, if you just gave them new tooling, they're not good enough to compete in today's market, in my opinion. Friend of mine, DL Bootroom, Derek, he made a great point that those older leather models are more likely to transition because of the nature of the materials. You can make that into a more modern boot. The boots, the synthetic boots that Nike were making back in the day, they're not quite up to standard, and we might be a few years out from Nike really having a solid base of boots in order to do remakes with the right amount of time and having given it the right length of time before they actually become classics. So the best way to get it at the moment is a colorway update, and I'm all for that. And getting it from, well, an advert inspired boot. So they're literally pushing their own advertising as special as nostalgia and putting on a boot and then reselling it to us. This is genius from them. Like, we're all going nuts over their own marketing, which they're remarketing. Brilliant if you're in marketing. So I think we'll see more of this, and I'm fairly happy with that, even if I would like to see the prices come down. In terms of the actual remakes, I think we maybe need to see a few less from Adidas to maintain them being special, and I wouldn't like to see any more Future DNA packs from Nike in the foreseeable future. I'd like to at least get around to a situation where you have a new boot for each of the current lines and then maybe drop something or make something that's more relevant. Like, should this have really been a Vapor, considering the GT or even the GT's predecessors weren't available when the secret tournament launched? They're just trying to push this particular boot. There's a lot to take in there, a lot of varying points of view and opinions, but do let me know what you think. Has nostalgia already gone too far? Do we have more to come? And are you happy about it, even from the prospect of remakes or just color ups that give you some of those old school vibes? Drop your opinions down in the comments. Of course, remember to like the video and get subscribed to BootWizard, because all of these lovely boots will be on the channel soon, including a comparison of this Phantom GT with this shiny new Nemesis 0.1 with an updated upper that is definitely designed to compete head to head with Nike's brand new product. But that's all from me today. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I will see you soon.